The Great Fire of London. It started with a flicker, a single spark in a bakery. By dawn, the heart of London was in flames. By the end, the city was nearly gone. Was it an accident, sabotage, or something far darker? This is not just the story of a fire, it's a tale of panic, politics, conspiracy, and rebirth. The Great Fire of London. What really happened? London at the time was a powder keg of danger. Buildings made entirely of dry timber leaned into narrow streets stacked closely like kindling. Most homes had thatched roofs, wooden walls, and open flames used for cooking, lighting, and heating. And to make matters worse, there hadn't been significant rainfall in weeks. The entire city was dry and brittle. So when flames leapt from the bakery into the neighboring buildings, they weren't just spreading, they were exploding.
Please do well to like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't, as an encouragement for more of this kind of content.
By morning, the fire was unstoppable. But here's where it gets strange. The fire could have been contained early. The Lord Mayor, Sir Thomas Bloodworth, was called to authorize the demolition of buildings to create fire breaks, an old effective method to stop the spread. But instead of acting, he reportedly scoffed. Pish! That hesitation doomed the city. People fled in chaos. The rich loaded carts with possessions. The poor tried to carry what they could. Others simply ran with nothing. The Thames River became a sea of desperation as boats overflowed with citizens escaping the inferno. Looters took advantage. Rumors spread like the flames themselves.
And then came the blame. As London burned, fear turned to rage. Foreigners were accused of arson. Catholics, the Dutch, the French, even innocent individuals were beaten or killed in the streets. One man, a poor French watchmaker named Robert Hubert, confessed to starting the fire. He was later executed, but his story didn't add up. It turned out he wasn't even in London when the fire began. So why did he confess? Was he coerced, mentally ill, or was he just a convenient scapegoat? The government needed someone to blame. But the truth? The fire was likely just an accident, a tragic storm of dry wood, narrow streets, and criminal delay. Yet the damage was unprecedented. By September 6th, the fire finally died, smothered by changing winds and a militia effort to demolish buildings ahead of the flames. But by then, over 13,000 homes, 87 churches, and numerous businesses were gone. Miraculously, only 6 deaths were officially recorded, but historians believe the true number was much higher. But what if the Great Fire of London was more than a tragedy? What if it was an opportunity? Because in the ashes of the old city, a new London was born. Plans were drawn for wider streets, stone buildings, and a more modern layout. Sir Christopher Wren, the brilliant architect, rebuilt St. Paul's Cathedral into the stunning dome we recognize today. Sanitation improved, health conditions improved. In a dark twist of irony, the fire that destroyed London may have saved it from future plagues and even worse disasters. Yet for all the progress, questions still remain. Why was the city so unprepared? Why were fire breaks delayed? Why did they hang a man who was likely innocent? The Great Fire of London wasn't just a blaze. It was a test of leadership, of truth, and of survival. In 4 days, a city was reduced to embers, but from those embers rose something stronger. And maybe that's the real story, how destruction revealed the cracks in a kingdom and lit the way to something better.